few days ago I've made a video about considering to outsource some of my design work to Ukraine, and ever since that I've started to get a lot of emails from people either in Ukraine or in India approaching me, asking me to outsource my work to them, sending me portfolios and stuff like that. And I want to take a minute to explain in this video why I'm probably not going to work with any of them. That's not even probably. I'm not going to work with any of them, and I want to explain why. So the main reason, when you're considering to work with somebody, it doesn't matter if you hire an employee or if you're outsourcing, or in general, when you want to work with somebody, their technical skills and their ability to do the work is not of course it's important, but it's not the main thing or reason affecting your decision to work with them or not. I think, at least for me, the main reason is, can I trust them? Will they screw me over? Will they, hit the deadlines? Will they do what they say they will do? And actually trusting somebody, especially somebody that you don't know, is actually very, very hard to do. And if I'm not gonna trust them, if I don't trust those people, obviously I'm not gonna hire them. So I want to explain how I come to trust people before I start considering whether I should work with them or not. The best way, the quickest way to get the trust of somebody, I think, is by having somebody that you already trust recommend them to you. And so this specific company that I mentioned in Ukraine, I was referred to them by a friend who I already trust, and he told me how great they are, and he told me that a lot of companies that I know here in Israel, that I trust, that I know that they're doing great work, are working with them. And in that way, even though I don't know the guys managing the company, I trust them immediately, or at least I'm willing to give them a chance and to try to do this pilot to see if we can work together. But even the people that I interview right now and consider to hire, they're not just people who approach me. There are people who I kind of had a bit of relationship with them before. They kind of proved trustworthy by having interaction for a while before we started getting into kind of the interview phase and stuff like that. Now, if you can't have somebody that knows the person kind of refer you to them to gain trust, you have to think about another way to gain the trust. So a lot of what other people do is kind of they use what's called social proof, which means, for example, the website that you go and you see the logos of Google, I've worked with Google and Uber and whatever, famous companies. Because when you do something like that, when you use this kind of social proof, then you say, oh, I know Google, they're a big company, I know that they have good design, good development, whatnot. So if Google already trusted them and vetted them and went through the whole process and chose to work with them, that means probably they're trustworthy. So that's the second thing. If you can't have somebody actually recommend you, then you probably want to kind of use some kind of a social proof as I've worked with this and that and that. But you have to immediately gain my trust, because when people just email me, hey, here's the link to our works, I did a lot of great work, please check it out. It's not, I can check it out, but it's a waste of my time. Even if your work looks beautiful, I'm not going to trust you, because as I said before, nice looking work or good looking work is not everything, and it doesn't make me trust you as a person. So that's kind of the key takeaway. If you're reaching out to somebody that you don't know, what you really need to consider is, how do I make them trust me? And if you fail at that, then probably you're going to fail at the reach out. So please consider that. Second thing I wanted to discuss is that once I mentioned that I'm thinking about outsourcing work to Ukraine, some people mentioned in the comments issues around morality. Is it moral to outsource your work to other countries rather than giving it to the designers from your community, from your location? And honestly, what I think about that, I think honestly it's ridiculous. Next week I'm going to Toronto to work with a client from Toronto. So basically, my client from Toronto is outsourcing work to me, I'm based in Israel, instead of taking a designer from Toronto. So is he not immoral? Am I not allowed to work with clients, international clients? I think, and you know, that's really silly. You know, everything that we wear, everything that we eat is coming from either, you know, China or different countries, because we're living today in a global economy. And if you're not willing to take advantage of that, you know, and if you're only gonna buy stuff from your local community, then you're very limited in your possibilities. So I personally have no problems both working with clients from abroad, you know, from different countries, and accepting money from, you know, outside of Israel, and also hiring people outside of Israel. I don't think there's any difference, and that's my point of view. I don't think it's immoral. I think it's just the world that we live in today, and it's great. I enjoy this. I think you guys enjoy this global community that we have today, so I think it's a great opportunity. Anyway, it's been kind of a crazy day. Tomorrow I'm giving a presentation of the website that I've been working on for the last few weeks, and I still got a bunch of work to do tonight, so I think it's gonna be a long night today. So I'm heading home right now, gonna spend some time with the kids, with the wife, and then back to work. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you tomorrow.